Today, we're talking about how to diet when you're bulking.
We have 6 keys to take your underdeveloped body and turn you into Johnny Bravo himself.
What are you doing? Yeah, there's a much better way to do this if you're trying to bulk. You don't want to be eating all those empty calories. That's just straight sugar that you put in the blender there. Okay, you're right. I don't care what he said, I'm going to get it. No matter what it takes. I don't care. Yummy.
2 hours later.
What happened to you, man?
I'm bulky.
Well, Aaron, I'm here to tell you, man, there's a better way. Hey, what's going on, YouTube?
Good afternoon.
And good evening.
And good night.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
To
All right.
all the vegans out there.
We don't talk to them. Welcome to Baker Bros. We're 3 brothers, and we're going to help you get big. We're going to help you get huge. Today, we're talking about how to diet when you're bulking.
We have 6 keys to take your underdeveloped body and turn you into Johnny Bravo himself.
If being a hunk is wrong, then I don't want to be right.
Yes.
Classic Johnny.
Johnny Bravo with legs. Exactly. Bulking season, the best season. We're going to go right into prioritizing those big lifts. Those are some of our favorite lifts. I know that we all love to lift heavy, so this is going to be the time to do it. Prioritize those big lifts whenever you're in the gym. That's your compound lifts. That's going to be your deadlift, your squats, your Romanian deadlifts, your bench press, your compound lifts that can be used with dumbbells. So you're going to be doing incline, you're going to be doing flat dumbbell. Make sure that you're prioritizing these lifts before you get into your accessory exercises. You don't want to be you can warm up with isolated. Would you guys say that's okay? You can warm up with isolated.
For sure.
But make sure that you're going straight into your compounds once you're good and warm, because whenever you are bulking and you're consuming all those calories, you want to make sure that compound lifts are being prioritized throughout your routines.
With proper form.
Yes.
With proper form.
With proper form
Gotta be
every
hitting, listen,
time.
you got to be hitting upper and lower, okay? You got to hit those squats, those deadlifts. You got to do it. You can't just focus on, one or the other. Especially when you're bulking, that's going to create a greater hormonal response when you hit both.
Exactly. And the other thing, too, is whenever you're doing those heavy lifts, a lot of methods of thought are different on how you can get more powerful. Power lifters have their own way of doing it with their little 5x5s. I think we found a sweet spot with the 8-rep sets, doing anywhere between 6 to 8 reps on your heavy lifts with deads, with squats, with bench. Keep it in that 6 to 8 rep range, because that's whenever you're going to start increasing power, but you're still going to be developing muscle. Remember, this isn't about powerlifting necessarily. This is about getting stronger during a bulking diet.
And just because you're not getting a great pump doesn't mean that you're not growing.
Exactly.
Don't get tricked. Don't be deceived.
If strength gains are increasing, then you know you're doing something right.
That's a very good point. If your strength is going up, if your power is going up, even if the weights are only going up 5-10 pounds a week, that's okay. You're not supposed to be jumping up 30, 40, 50 pounds every week on a lift necessarily. If you're new to weightlifting,
You might.
you might.
You might for a
If
little,
I could get
little
5
while.
or 10 pounds in a week, people would be like, what's going on with this
Hey,
guy?
Exactly.
He's doing something nice.
You mean naughty.
Oh,
Very naughty.
Bad boys for life.
But if that's the case, if you're only going up, 5-10 pounds every other week or even every month, that's okay. We've all experienced those plateaus. Plateauing is not a sign that you're not getting more powerful. You might be going up in reps. Those repetitions might be going up on a deadlift. We're talking about conventional, though. We're not talking about sumo deadlift.
No
right now.
sumos.
No, we don't.
sumo.
So I don't know about those sumo deadlifters, but conventional deadlifting. if that's not necessarily going up in weight, but you hypothetically, here's an example. If you're deadlifting as a beginner and you're just doing 225, that's okay. Like we said, keep that form in mind. We don't want to sacrifice form. We've all been there. We've all tried to sacrifice form. Don't sacrifice the form just because you want to lift heavy weight.
At least the injuries, man.
A clean 275 looks better than an ugly 315 any day of the week.
Yes, exactly. The next thing that we're going to jump into when on a bulk is making sure that we are monitoring the fats that we're consuming in a bulking diet. So the main thing that you want to be focused on as far as when it comes to fats in your bulking diet, Aaron, talk a little bit about what you do during your carb cycling. I know you just did your show. Tell them a little bit about what that looked like in your carb cycling.
Okay, so whenever you're carb cycling, you're going to have high days, medium days, low days. On your high days is the days that obviously you want your fats to be as low as possible, 50 grams or less. Medium days, you still can keep your fats pretty low and get away with it. And then low days are the days you're going to up your fats. But the idea is that you have your high carbs and your low carbs and your medium carbs, but it all balances out to where you're either slowly putting on weight or slowly losing weight. You don't ever want to have a high fat, high carb day because your body's going to choose one to store as body fat, and you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you don't want to get too much body fat in the process.
Yeah.
Because, you know why.
You might do too much bulking. That bulk may never stop.
Overboard. And then just go the
Don't
wrong
do the
direction.
McDonald's. Don't do the McDonald's or the Burger King bowl.
Watch Supersize Me. You don't want to go down that road. I'm telling you.
The other thing, too, and I know that there are probably some people out there that are really familiar with the keto diet. Maybe you're in keto right now. As far as keto in a bulk, it's not going to be easy to do a keto diet in a bulk. And the reason why is because you're not going to be able to consume necessarily as many calories as you could with carb. You're going to get 4 calories per gram of carb versus 9 calories per gram of fat. So you want to make sure that if you're going to do the keto diet, you're keeping a high ratio of fats and proteins if you're not going to be consuming carbs. Because carbs are a huge staple when it comes to bulking. You're going to want to be consuming things like brown rice. You're going to want to be consuming
Whole
grains, vegetables. You want to make sure that those are going to be full, dense calories, not empty calories in your carbs.
I love sweet potato before bed. Get that potassium in. In the morning, you look leaner than you were the day before. Point number 3, when your carb intake is high, your protein intake can be lower because carbs are protein sparing, and whenever your carbs are intaken, you have a higher level of glucose in your muscles. Therefore, your muscle protein breakdown is going to be lower because your body is not going to have to use any protein for energy, or at least less. So you're not going to need 2 grams per pound of body weight or anything crazy like that. I would recommend about 1 gram per pound of body weight if you're really intaking enough carbohydrates as you should be.
Even a lot of my gym partners who I've been training with for 2, 3, 4 years are under the misconception that you need 2.5, 3 grams per pound of body weight in protein. You don't necessarily need that much protein. That's why all these dudes are gassy in the gym.
Well, and your body can't even synthesize that much protein half the
Exactly.
time, you know.
Next point we're going to talk about is your meal frequency. So your metabolism, you can kind of view it as a fire. And every time you eat a meal, you're adding gas to that fire and you're increasing the frequency with which it churns. The more often you eat, the more food that you're going to be able to intake, the higher your appetite's going to be. More food equals more growth, but that's where it's important is that you have to eat that food.
You gotta eat.
Gotta eat, man.
Eat it.
All of us know, sitting at this table, being taller guys who've grown
Lean.
up trying to eat so much food, but our
get the
metabolisms are just so fast. We're used to those cardio sports.
Usain Bolt fast metabolisms.
All these athletes out here watching, you guys know because you're constantly burning hundreds, if not thousands of calories. millions a day. But you guys are consuming a lot of calories, so you know how important it is to eat. And the thing is, and I'm sure that Aaron can attest to this, I know Caleb can attest to this, I can attest to this. When you think that you're eating enough, you're not.
You're wrong.
You are definitely wrong.
And if you are eating enough, then you're probably eating the wrong calories. You're probably eating your
Mickey D's.
Mickey D's, your ramen, you're eating
Milkshakes.
your milkshakes. That fast food, you got to cut that fast food out if you're serious about a really solid bulking diet.
McFlurries.
And here's the three rules of not eating enough. Number 1, if you're hungry, you're not eating enough. If you're ever hungry, you're not eating enough. Number 2, can't remember what number 2 is.
Because it's all about number 1.
Just focus.
You've
Number
got
1.
to eat more.
Oh, here's number 3. Number 1 and number 2 are the same. Number 3, if you're flat. If you ever look at yourself and think, man, I look flat, especially in the gym, you're not eating
Flat
enough.
chest. Gotta eat, man.
Gotta eat.
And now
And women.
on to the next point. I'm going to give it over to Caleb.
Sweet. So let's talk a little bit about hydration. H2O, if you will.
H2O.
Water.
Water sucks. Gatorade is better.
You gotta stay hydrated. Super important whenever you're bulking to stay hydrated. Or I mean, honestly, regardless, no matter what you're doing, whether you're bulking or you're cutting, staying well hydrated is important in order for your muscles to perform properly and for you to not go into a catabolic state and actually lose muscle. You got to drink water.
Gotta drink water.
Gotta drink water. And it's
Gotta drink water.
beyond that, it's kind of like the same thing with eating. If you think you're drinking enough, you probably aren't.
You definitely aren't.
If you're peeing yellow, that's already your first sign.
Yeah, here's your sign, man. If it's yellow, don't
Yellow
be
ain't mellow.
You got to be intentional. Drink that water.
Yellow ain't mellow.
No, you got to go drink that
If your pee
water.
looks like this,
or this.
you got a problem, man.
If it
this
looks
isn't
like-
pee, but
If it looks like this, you're probably dying. So
Not a doctor.
yeah,
Prostate
exactly.
go
cancer.
seek a doctor. Get medical help.
And a quick Baker Bro tip for you, especially for all the new gym goers. One way that you can increase hydration in your workouts, if you're not already, this is especially important for beginners. If you're not taking any type of BCAA, a branched chain amino acid supplement, or an EAA, an essential amino acid supplement, I recommend an EAA over BCAA because they're more essential than your branched chain. Branched chain are
Hence essential.
hence essential. Yeah, exactly.
Branch chain is
Aminos.
basically EAA with some unimportant stuff in
Exactly.
it.
They're
So you're just
fillers.
getting less EAA.
Get yourself a good EAA supplement. Go to your local supplement store and just ask for a good EAA. Be consuming this in your workouts. However you want to dilute it, it's up to you. I recommend you don't have to be the dude with the gallon jug walking around.
What a lunk.
Yeah, don't set
Don't
off
be
that
a
lunk alarm.
lunk,
man.
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 Alarm.
Planet Fitness people, you know who you are.
And that's okay if you go there.
fine.
But listen, you're definitely going to want to just get some sort of flask or water bottles. Flask, just something easy. You can use water bottles. Just put your EAAs in your water bottle or your BCAAs, whatever you prefer. It's up to you. I recommend the EAAs, like I said, but make sure you're drinking these whenever you're exercising because these are going to hydrate your muscles in the process. And it's a good intra-workout supplement, meaning it's going to keep you anabolic while you're lifting. It's all about staying anabolic in your diet and in the gym.
Coconut water is great too.
Coconut water, there you go. That's a really good way to hydrate as well.
So suffice to say, you got to drink water. You got to stay hydrated. Hydration is so important because whenever you're dehydrated, it causes a lack of blood flow, which means your pumps are going to be horrible. You're going to have bad pumps. It's not going to look
Cramps.
good. Yeah, cramping, that's no fun. So you got to drink your water. The other piece of that, and this is point number 6, and that is salt intake.
Sodium.
That NA.
That's right. So you got to make sure, salt on the other side is really important. You keep your electrolytes up, keep your salt intake up, because that's so pivotal to all of your muscle movements, muscle contractions. Again, that plays a role in cramping as well, and so that's just really important. Keep that salt going, but good salts, healthy salts.
Yeah. Let's talk about the types of sodium and the differences between what's out there. So you've got your iodized salt, and then you've got your non-iodized salt that lacks that nutrient iodine. You want to make sure that you're getting iodine in your salt. It's an essential nutrient that's going to help not just with blood flow, but it's going to also help with heart health. So make sure that you're getting iodized salt. And a lot of salt out there is just table salt. It lacks the proper nutrients.
They give me no nutrients.
Himalayan pink salt, that's obviously a big popular sodium.
Trending.
Yeah, it's
Currently trending.
It's a trend that everyone's following. Prior to my workouts, I've consumed heavy amounts of salt before I jump in. There are products out there.
How do you consume it? Do you snort it, or how do you?
Snort it.
That's all we got for you, folks.
All we got.
There you go.
That's all we got.
All right, again, if you've not yet subscribed to the Baker Bros YouTube channel, you should.
Hit that subscribe
I don't want to shoot on you, but I just did. Hit that subscribe, like it,
Shoot it on.
hit the bell, ring that bell. That way you're notified when we upload new videos.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell. Hit that subscribe button.
Hope you enjoyed those freshly baked gains.
Always fresh.
Always baked.
Never frozen.
Stay baked.
What does it take? Tell me.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up.